Hey folks, thanks again for joining me for this third video in the series of micro homestead maintenance where we are going over carbon filters. Today I am going to show you how to craft internal filters for within the cylinder. This is the pre-filter I got in the mail. I'm not going to do some fake reveal. I already opened it and the instructions tell you what to do. It is supposed to replace this pre-filter. I have two of them. They go around the outside of this. I washed them, just tossed them in the washing machine. Yeah, they got a little fluffier, but not much. They were thick to begin with. I am, however, noticing that the new pre-filter, I should have checked the actual thickness. And I'll put one up on the screen. You will see that in the image it looks much thicker, so I didn't bother to check. My bad, my fault. Here's where this is going to be awesome. Do you see how thin this is? It's approximately not even like a 1/16 of an inch. I thought these were going to be 3/8 of an inch. They come with these straps. So I have been looking for the material that goes on the inside. As I showed you before, on the inside of these there is some sort of filter, and it's on the outside of the inner ring. And I tried, searching for the internal filters of a carbon filter, and all of my searches just kept coming back for interior car carbon filters, because the word interior was making all of those searches come up. So what I did was I removed this I removed the filter from the inside of this one, which is also cool because you can now see that this is just metal mesh, and quite frankly there are plenty of things you could use to replace this, but this is a nice beefy heavy duty piece that you can use over and over again. I'd rather use this than like some, I don't know, screen door mesh or some BS like that. Alright, so that is off of here. These aside. Running out of space. I got so many projects going on at once. The micro homestead. Alright. So because this is so thin, I'm going to try to use it to replace this. Now, that might cause air to not be able to go through. This is as thin as kind of like a linen paper, but I think maybe it became compressed because it was in there for so long. This, you can see through it a little, so I'm thinking that'll work for the interior one. So I'm going to cut them to fit. That. It's pretty good. Most people would just cut along the edge, but I'm going to show you, that whole mentality of not throwing things out, but also some of your hobbies and some of your other ventures provide you with things that you need to do other stuff. Why do I have, like a tailor's chalk? I've been using that since first we're in the wardrobe department on a movie. There's a nice little chalk line there, and it's compressed as one little piece. You can get that in the sewing section. I highly suggest having a couple pieces. They cost like 25 cents, dude. Just get them. And you can use them to make marks on fabric that you can either wipe away or use water with. They have red, yellow, blue, white, and it's really good. I'm going to leave that there. We're back. Use the right tools for the right things. So I'm going to cut out the fabric piece. And you'll see that when we do it, this is actually much longer than it needs to be because it ends up overlapping by about 2 inches on each side. So you're wasting about 4 inches of fabric material. I have more than enough for me to get 2 out of these. However, you should consider that although you can get 2 out of these, you will need 2 more for the inner pieces. And with this one sheet, it looks like I might not be able to get both of them out. Because their heights are so much different. So I am glad that I laid this out instead of just cutting it, and I made the chalk line just to see how it looked. Because once you add this one to the mix, I don't think it's going to work. This is the inner filter. This one was a hell of a lot harder to get off. I had to cut it in places because it was glued so heavily. But there's less overlap on this one, only 1 inch, so you're doubling up 2 inches of material. So they won't be as wide when you put them down to trace. However, my camera's not in a great spot. You can see that there is a bit of overhang. And it looks to be, let me move it to the side so you can see lined up to that line. Camera, you can see by this corner how much short we are, and that looks to be about 1 inch. I'm going to call it 1 inch. I could also just reach in this damn drawer and show you. It's a little bit of a glare. It is 1 1/4 inches. No, 1 1/8 inches, because this has an extra quarter on it. I hate that this ruler has a little bit of an edge to it before 0. Anyway, it's metal, and it's Westcott, so Westcott makes metal good rulers, perfect edges, and they don't really flex too much. They don't start at 0. Anyway, you can also see at the bottom of this filter there is a portion that is white. And that white portion is about 1/2 inch, and it is because that is the portion that goes down into the base. So my thought is, with this extra long strip, even though it's 1 inch short, we can either pull it up a bit, and it'll only be losing, avoiding that 1/2 inch of dead space at the bottom, and then knowing that it'll also be at the top when we put the cap on. We could just go with that, or I might just take 2 pieces and either sew them together or stitch them together, glue them together, I don't know. But we'll figure something out, because there's no way I'm going out and buying another second piece when I have plenty of material here to get by and just figure it the heck out. Perfect size. You can see it from the outside. Whoops. Stretch it out a little more. It's not wide enough yet to cling to the sides. Come on. And you can see how much it overlaps the material. So if you ever need to cut it shorter, you can spare yourself a lot more space. And the Velcro strap can go in there, but I'm going to figure out something else and save the Velcro maybe for the external one. But that's that. I'm happy with it. I think we're just going to use that for our filter. So you've watched me do one, and I showed you how it goes on the outside. So now I'm just going to line all 4 pieces. Fast and dirty. Okay, so this material really keeps the stuff from getting in the center. So I did want to lift it a little bit, but I'm not sure that's going to work. No bueno. So instead, I'm going to wrap it starting at the base and then just put a second piece at the top. But we really need to get that down in there, because you can see there's metal covering the bottom portion. So I could lift it up to here, but my concern is that when I put it on its side, maybe it'll slide one way or something, and the particles will start getting down in there. So I don't think it's worth that. I'm just going to settle it all the way at the bottom, which I didn't want to do. Sometimes we do stuff we don't want to do. And just call it a day. Damn. And we'll do something, even though it's not tall enough, we'll do something like this. You know, go all the way around, one strip. I don't know what we'll use to keep it there, but that's what we'll do. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to take this off, this one on first, and then strap this as it overhangs to hold it in place. It's more filter than we asked for, so hopefully we don't tax the fan, but I think we have a winner. That's it. That's good enough for me. We now have a fully wrapped filter. Pull that up just a tiny bit. It goes like that. Goes around. And the only thing left to do is put the carbon in between this channel. So I think we'll be pretty good with that. And then this goes back on side. And we just gotta line this up to where those pieces go. Whoa. And that's that. So the last thing to do is just show you how to reactivate the charcoal. I am debating whether just buying new charcoal, but we want to preserve stuff. So I'm going to try and reactivate that. I'm hearing different stories about it though. One explanation is just put it in the oven and it'll reactivate your charcoal. The other is if you put it in the oven, your charcoal is going to expel all the smell and chemicals that it absorbed. So that's not good. So I have to look more into that. You can go ahead and check out that video on reactivating charcoal and see the errors in my ways. Thanks for watching, folks. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you get alerts for the next video in this series on carbon filters. Until next time, keep growing.